We're at Silver Springs State Park to go on a glass bottom boat. This has been here since 1860, the property. And they developed it into a tourist attraction late 1800s, early 1900s, and everybody came here. There was no other theme parks or attractions in Florida. $2 to get in, and the glass bottom boat was $13 for the middle of the week for a half an hour, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday it's a little bit more, but you get an hour and a half, right? It's now a state park and state business. Before it was a state property run by private business, but in 2013 the state took it over. Apparently for runoff and pollution reasons, they took it over. Before I was born, my parents came here with my sister in the late 60s. Please take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints. Just $2 a person. Welcome Center gift shop. The boat's over there. Take the glass bottom boat. Right here. Oh. I think they're, let me see what it says on here. It may have moved it to somewhere else. Barnard does. Attention. It says certain things are closed. They probably put some stuff up down here. You could take a picture as a mermaid, or you can take a picture as a bird, or as a captain. They have cafes, restaurants, snack bar, snack shop. Silver Springs State Park 2023. On June 17, 1955, a fire of undetermined origin raced through several of the attractive 1949 Spanish-style buildings, including gift shop, cafe, offices, and everything. From disaster to they rebuilt it there. It's probably what we got today. We got 3 boats here. And these are the same boats they had back in the 60s. So they haven't changed. Maybe just painting them. Today's only a 30-minute ride down there and back. The water looks really clear.
Looks like you had a little coffee. Now I have your attention. Can everybody do me a favor? Take out your cell phones. Put them on mute, silent, airplane mode, anything that doesn't ring. If it rings during a trip, I may be forced to ask you to put it on speaker so we all can enjoy your phone call. I'm a certified licensed captain through the United States Coast Guard. This is an inspected vessel. Therefore, you get the dreaded safety announcement. First of all, everybody hear me okay? Yeah. All right. Second, look above your head on that shelf up there. You're going to see these orange fashion statements. They are called life jackets. In 130 years, we've never had to use a life jacket. And I do not want to start today. But if we do need one, by all means, stand up and take one down. The adult jackets are in the middle of the vessel. Children jackets are either on the aft or forward sections. When you bring one down, undo the black strap, pull the orange part apart, put it over your head down to your shoulders. Bring the black strap around your back. 3 hooks to the vest on the front. Pull it tight. Then we go off the front of the boat, that's where you came on at, and we head to the nearest shore. As soon as the first person hits the water, a highly trained alligator rescue team is dispatched to help you guys to shore. Unfortunately, though, they are a bit pricey, so it may cost you an arm and a leg for their services. But welcome aboard the world-famous glass-bottom boats at beautiful Silver Springs. We've been doing glass-bottom boat rides since 1878. This particular vessel, the Chief Micanopy, was built in 1965. That is ordinary glass you are looking through, although it is a ½ inch thick. All our enclosed boats like this are named after Seminole chiefs. Now, Silver Springs here was the premier tourist destination in Florida for a lot of years. It predated the mouse. In fact, it was the first tourist destination in Florida. Back then, it was privately owned. And over the course of time, it fell into disrepair. So much so that in 2013, the state was able to acquire the park. When the state got a hold of the park, they got a hold of over 4,800 acres. A lot of that is wet. 120 plus springs. 30 of them are named. And collectively, they will produce over 850 million gallons of water a day. All the water that comes out of the ground here at Silver Springs is at 72 degrees year-round and 98% pure. Now, the one industry continuing to thrive here in the park and has for decades is the filming industry. The first movie that was made here was in 1916. It was a black and white silent movie called The Seven Swans. Since then, over 250 movies, TV shows, and documentaries have been filmed here and are continuing to be filmed here to this day. Now, the first spring we go to, we named Spring of the Stars to honor the stars that have worked here. Stars like James Dean filmed Rebel Without a Cause here at Silver Springs. Jackie Gleason, Burt Reynolds, Jerry Lewis, Tom Cruise, Jane Mansfield, Lloyd Bridges, to name a few of the stars that have worked here. And let us not forget the Olympic gold medal swimmer, Johnny Weissmuller, who did the first 6 Tarzan movies right here at Silver Springs. Wow. So what we're looking for now down through the glass will be a flat gray rectangular rock surrounded on 3 sides by white sand. The 4th side will be a hill with some of this marine growth on it. I'll let you know when it's coming underneath the boat. But in the meantime, enjoy the view of the bottom of the river. I'm pretty sure you guys don't see a bottom of a river too often. And the flat rock is starting underneath the boat right now. It's that flat gray rock surrounded on 3 sides by white sand, has the stick by it. The slit above the rock is where the water comes out of. Everybody starting to see the rock? Guys up front, got it? Okay. This rock is in 26 feet of water. The movie people tell us it is a good depth to film at because it gives the illusion of deep water without the hassles of filming in deep water. Now, the next spring I like to show you folks was an actual movie set. Back in 1954, there was a horror movie that was filmed here. It was called The Creature from the Black Lagoon. A local man named Rico Browning became the creature. Rico got the job basically for two reasons. First, he could hold his breath over 4 minutes. And second, probably just as important as the first, he fit the costume. So what we're looking for now is a V-shape opening. Today it's the spring. But back in 1954, it was the creature's lair, his den. And this is the place in the movie that the creature first appears. He appears swimming out of this opening. And if you go over to our Discovery Center, we have one of the original costumes from the creature. It's coming underneath the boat right now. It's that V-shaped opening down there around the white sand. Rico would darn his costume, swim down there 31 feet, back himself up in that spring, wait for the direction of the director, do whatever the script called to do, the whole time holding his breath. Then in 1955 and again in 56, they made two more creature movies, Revenge of the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and The Creature Walks Among Us. Now, out of curiosity, how many of you have seen The Creature from the Black Lagoon? Just one? Oh, two. Okay, you had me worried there for a second. Well, if the rest of you folks would like to see the movie, when you leave the park today, make a left-hand turn. Go down the road about a half a mile or so, and on the left-hand side is a big blue and white building. You can't miss it. It's called Walmart, and they usually got copies of the movie. Now, we do get all sorts of visitors here in the park, and one of our favorite is the manatee. We have 8 to 10 manatee, though, that call the park their home year-round. Does anybody see any snow down there yet?
Yes.
You don't see snow down there yet? This is the first vent.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the second vent. Anybody see snow now?
Yep.
All right. What Florida snow actually is limestone and seashells that are being crushed by the pressure of the water and then brought to the surface by the spring. This is one of the few springs in the park that you can actually see water moving. Well, you're not seeing water moving, you're actually seeing the snow moving. And it's tricking your brain thinking it's water moving. It highlights the water moving. The first two springs we went to had water coming out of it. Nobody saw it. And that's for two reasons. One, you're looking through water at water. So it's very difficult to see water. The second is you had no reference point, like the Florida snow. When the snow's coming out like that, it tricks your brain into thinking you see the water. Now, as we head on out of here, there's an island on our right-hand side. We call this Bird Island. If you look up in the trees of Bird Island, you're going to see these blackbirds up there nesting. Some of them have baby birds in the nest. It is mating season. They are called either ahingas or cormorants. They're two different birds. Both are a fishing or a diving bird. Their main diet is fish. But the ahingas have a really cool nickname. Excuse me. They are called snake birds. And the reason they are called that is when they are fishing, their head and neck are above the water, and they look like a snake. You'll also see the ahingas. I see it laying there?
Yep, I see.
I'm going to spin the boat.
Right now, where the water is.
Oh, yeah, I do get that. Can you see it, Ashley?
How's that? Everybody starting to see them now?
Yeah.
People get themselves in trouble when they start feeding the gator. When you feed an alligator, they lose their natural fear of you. And they get closer and closer. These little pot marks are called boils. They're actually little springs. You may even see some water boiling out of them. It's not actually boiling, it's actually coming out of the ground at 72 degrees. It's an optical illusion, but what it is the pressure of the spring water trying to force its way out of the pressure from the river water.
It's like an alligator garden.
Now the next spring I like to show you guys, we call the Blue Grotto. The water here gets its blue color from the sunlight going through the water, bouncing off a limestone bottom, going back through the water. The water acts like a prism, yielding the bluish color. Scientists call this spring of the first magnitude. Basically what that means, there you go. The bottom's moving around, the Florida snow's flying. Well, being that it produces 46 to 60 million gallons of water a day, just a slight little water leak, you may ask yourself, where does all that water go? Well, as we're making our way back out to the middle of the Silver River, I will tell you. From in the middle out there, going east or to the right, it is 5.5 miles to the Ocklawaha River. Ocklawaha is Native American for dark or muddy water. The Ocklawaha then meanders more or less east by northeast until it bumps into the St. Johns River. What do you guys got out there?
Hanging fishing.
Hanging. And that is where our manatees swim in from. So I really can't blame the 8 to 10 manatee that call this place home. What's not to like? They got plenty of warm water, lots of food, and they don't have to swim 162 miles twice a year. Now, if you start looking out the left-hand side of the boat, you're going to see a wooden structure. We call this Sea Hunt Dock. Sea Hunt was a TV show in the late 50s, early 60s, starring Lloyd Bridges. The premise of the show was he was a retired Navy scuba diver that used his skills to help people in trouble. Well, they did 155 episodes out of here, and they wanted the viewing public to believe that they were in salt water. Well, guys, the only salt that was around here was on their margarita glass at the end of the night, because this is totally fresh water. But Sea Hunt is credited with starting the sport scuba diving trend. So technically, we are still at war with them. Although the American government wanted to have a peace treaty with them, the Seminole Tribal Council just didn't trust the American government. Can you guys believe that? Not trusting the government? My God. There's another gator over on Bird Island. Oh, yeah. This gator is about 11.5, 12 foot long. Last year we used to call it Albert. This year we call it Alberta. She had 6 baby gators. Gave his birthright as a Seminole. But his father was English and Scottish, taught his son how to read, write, and speak English. When Osceola went to the negotiations, the government gave him a parchment of paper all rolled up. They told him it was the treaty. And it said, as long as you behave yourself, we'll let you live on your land in Florida. We'll feed you, we'll clothe you, we'll give you medicine. But when he took it back to the council and started reading it to them, the words appeared to be different. If you behave yourself, we're going to pack you up and move you to Oklahoma. Well, the council's going, we don't know what or where Oklahoma is, but we have a pretty nice place right here in Florida. I mean, look around, folks. This isn't half bad. Well, the council told Osceola to take the treaty back and tell the government no. Well, the way he decided to tell the government no was, he took the treaty, he unrolled it onto a stump, he took out his knife, and he stabbed the treaty, thus symbolizing killing it. Well, unfortunately, that little gesture started the Second Seminole War. A few years later, Osceola was captured. His captors took him to a prison up by Charleston, South Carolina, where he died in captivity at the age of 34 of dysentery. If you look out the right-hand side of the boat, up on shore, that tan statue in front of that gentleman there is Osceola stabbing the treaty. Now, if you folks remember when we started this little journey, I said this was the premier tourist destination in Florida. It predated the mouse by a lot. People used to come here to vacation. The way they got here was by steamboat. And when they arrived here, they thought that this was the end of the river. Well, this isn't the end of the river, folks. This is actually the beginning of it. Right now, we are heading to the first spring in the river. It is known as a head spring. We call it Mammoth Springs because size of the opening. The opening of Mammoth Springs is 5 feet tall, 65 feet across. That's more than 2 of these boats put end to end. It will yield over 550 million gallons of water a day at peak flow. All that water is enough to change the water in this basin every 38 minutes. And if any of you are James Bond fans, this cave may look familiar to you. It was used in the movie Thunderball, starring Sean Connery, the best Bond ever. And it's my boat and my rules. We'll go across these little plateaus with some algae on them. Then there will be a drop-off.
Oh, wow.
And then there is Mammoth Springs. Guys on the left-hand side of the boat, you're getting a really good view of Mammoth Springs. Guys on the right, you should have sat on the left. Let me swing around here so the folks on the right don't speak ill of me when we get back to the dock. As we back away from the shelf, look down that cliff wall. And that big black opening right before the bottom is Mammoth Springs. Keep in mind, it's 5 feet tall, 65 feet across. Everybody starting to see it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Guys up front, good?
Oh, yeah.
All right. The deepest part of Mammoth Springs that a person can get into is 55 feet deep. This white limestone sand we're going over the top of, that's about 32 feet deep. Well, guys, there's probably one last thing I could possibly show you. Unless you're getting a little chilly and want to go back to the dock. Does anybody want to see that last thing?
Yeah.
You sure? Because you don't sound sure.
Yeah.
All right. In 1967, there was a very popular TV show called I Spy, starring Robert Culp and Bill Cosby. When they came here to do an episode, they brought with them statues that represented Greek gods. Well, when they were done filming and they aired the episode, they told the viewing public they were in the Greek Isles. Well, that's a lie, and I can prove it. When they were done filming here and started taking the statues out of the water, the people of Silver Springs had a hissy fit. So much so that they got up a petition that most of the town signed to leave the statues in the spring. Well, after some negotiations with the production company, they left us 3. But the 3 they left us are the 3 biggies in Greek mythology. They will be Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. And they are coming underneath the boat right now. Zeus will be the first one. He's kind of standing by himself. Poseidon is in the middle. He's leaning a little bit. And Hades is next to Poseidon. Everybody starting to see him? Yeah. How about the guys up front? Got them yet? Yeah. All right. These gentlemen are in 31 feet of water. They are 7 foot tall. They are anchored down there in concrete. And they are made of a space-age material called fiberglass. Sure, you may laugh now, but in 1967, fiberglass was considered a space-age material. These gentlemen were also in a James Bond movie called Moonraker, starring Roger Moore. In Moonraker, a giant anaconda snake came out from that bush to my left, met up with James Bond in front of these gentlemen, and they had a fight. The movie people said it was a trained anaconda. Does anybody on board know how you train an anaconda? Because I don't. You do? What's that? Feed it? That's not really training it. Unfortunately, these gentlemen did not have a good contract, and they were cut out of the movie. But they were left in the movie trailer. Well, guys, that's pretty much what I got to show you today. Does anybody have any questions? No questions? Cool. It means I don't have to make nothing up. I like it.
We're on the chief canopy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be joining Captain Sarah aboard the Chief E. Maslow. Please take time on the set. Keep anything marked in yellow.
So that was a 30-minute tour. I don't know what the hour and a half would have been. Yeah, well, the hour and a half one, what else would have been? More movie scenes out there? Probably not that far out. Monkeys you would probably see further out.
Well, now that that's done, maybe we'll walk around.
Yeah, we'll see what else. Yeah. We're in the Discovery Center. Talks about history and television.
Right now, between they just started the time, so in April to September, you'll actually see the mail.
All kinds of stuff was filmed
They're
here.
getting ready to like build these birds.
See how TV series.
Okay. Other than that, like 5 month period, they don't much.
Tarzan, Creature from Black Lagoon.
So you're cute. That's so cute. Yeah, tell me when he's supposed to be an alligator and I just have my sunglasses thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. A little bit in the back, laying there.
Who's in the back? Who's in the back?
Snake.
Oh, snake.
And then there's one right here.
Oh yeah, snakes. I don't like snakes.
Over there.
Oh, yeah, snakes.
I like
Yeah, I don't like snakes.
feet down.
Yeah, he's
He's
looking.
behind the back.
He's looking. those out there too. Pretty.
It's an awful small team, Griffin.
One thing you see a lot of in Florida is squirrels everywhere. There's got to be more squirrels than people. Everywhere. And these are used to us. They're just looking real close. They could jump on you, though. Like in Christmas vacation.
I like when he was standing. Here's a cute picture.
There you go.
Right there, right there.
But he moves.
No, you need to stand.
Pretty. They get
Face
run over
this
by
way.
cars all the time, though, in Florida.